Well, here we are. This is the first video of Venderbetter University. We're just going to go over there and check out the little room. So, I was quite inspired today by the CEO of Patreon, Casey Neistat. There was a bit of an interchange between those two, and so they are inspirations. One of the inspirations is Casey Neistat's, good video production, and then the CEO of Patreon. Sorry, I don't remember his name, but lots of people are being quite successful with Patreon, because YouTube is just sort of a platform, but Patreon is where the supporters can give their support. So this is the shed. It's got beautiful lighting in the afternoon, and we've got the national radio on over here. So I'll just turn this off. So we'll just get this. So we'll just turn this off, and I'll just introduce you to this area. We've got a couple of boats and bits and pieces in here. And we just got some old fridges and freezers and stuff that have been in here. You can see the birds been shitting on it. It was perfectly good television, just some storage space. I was looking for that the other day. And this area's pretty much just had stuff dumped in it, and trailers and bits and pieces, and had some calves in here feeding them. Got some old stairs here. So and you can see down here some old lawnmowers and spare parts and some weed eaters that need to have a bit of a get-go. So we've got some rat shit here. So the rats have obviously been climbing up to the top of the stairs or climbing down, and going some wool that I share. And I've taken some gates out there. So this is really going to be the little workspace area. Now I wanted to just show you this now because this is day one. So we're in May, probably the 5th around there of May 2018. It's got brilliant light coming in, and we're just going to make this, when I say the Venderbetter University, it's founded online. You only need an email address. I've done a quick website up, put a Facebook grouping on. 3 people are involved out of the polymath group, and that's where it sort of kicked off from. And this here is pretty much going to be like a Patreon activity with Venderbetter University. So both staff and students contribute to it, and then within the structure you'll get specialisation. So we've got a few different ideas, but just generally people are committed to the Venderbetter University, then join Patreon. I've always felt that this camera is the future of higher academic learning. I'm interested in thorium power and how we're going to control that energy going into the future. At the moment, well, in the past we had a zero-sum game with just agriculture. Then we've got into a positive side of things when we were using the Industrial Revolution, and that's going to go into hyperdrive once we get into thorium power. So we need a university. So we have primary schools, secondary schools, tertiary education, polytechs and university, teaching people how to be lawyers and accountants and philosophers and scientists. But what was required in the world is one university in a quaternary level. So according to Buckminster Fuller, when you have two things, you have unity. And so this is about unity. So in the Northern Hemisphere, Kurzweil, there's a chap who's set up a university up there, and this one are going to be sort of combined in that sense. When I say are going to be combined, I'm going to leave the Northern Hemisphere. This is about an online situation where anyone with an email address can participate, be they a student. The old guy I said to today, Ted Billett, he said, oh right, if you found the university you must be the Chancellor. So anyway, enough about having a bit of a chat on the online. Let's show you the shed as we start to make this area in here, I suppose, a warehouse or a foundation of an online entity. So if you have any ideas what you want to do with this area in here, just do it in the text in the comments. And we also are able to have visitors as well, so that's another option that we can do. But the light is beautiful when it comes in. You'll be able to see it coming in over the horizon there. There you go. just over that horizon, so it gives really good light. But basically I'm just going to go and be doing some videos and stuff out here. So this is your home, if you like. Welcome to the home. You've got some boards and some lights, so we can do some nighttime stuff. But what I was impressed with, well, that's right, was the CO from so we're in the southern hemisphere here, New Zealand, Tokoroa, South Waikato. So what I was impressed with is the guy from New York, Casey Neistat, his office with everything stacked nicely, and then the person who was from Patreon, that's right, the Patreon CO. So he was pretty interesting as well, because he had a lot of he basically had a lot of organised stuff. You know, he brought out a case with all the little videos that he did in his little camera from his early days. So they're very organised, those two, and that gave me some incentive to become a little bit organised myself. So we'll just quietly walk back up to the house and give you a bit of a perspective of where it is. So I've just stuck this fence line in here, got a little bit of a boat. We have to go out on the water filming, and just look at this light, it's just so brilliant, and it's just about going down. Got the fence line in behind us, got a few sheds, and we've got our chestnut trees. There's the shed in the background. Look at that lighting, it's just so beautiful. So this is a GH1 which has just been purchased for my birthday at the lens, and not the GH5 or the GH5S. I've gone backwards from a GH2, and I just swapped out this lens from the GH2 to this GH1. So we're filming at 24 frames a second to get the good footage, get that good filmic look. So we're up to 7 minutes now, and yeah, so we'll just get back into some good light, and then we'll be fine. Okay, there we go. So we've got some good light here. So if there are any questions, or what do they say, subscribe, give us a comment. And Venderbetter University, so the little website, I'll put it down in the description below, and there's a Facebook group just to interact with, and that just allows the public face of Venderbetter. Very much set up like a professor's lounge, at some stage a student lounge, but really that's just the main campus, and anyone in there, it's going to generate some interest and stuff like that. So at the moment I'm just adminning it, and it's just the start. The Book of Vendergood, by an 8-year-old boy by the name of William James Sidis, S-I-D-I-S, William James Sidis. He wrote that at 8 years old. The same year he qualified for Harvard in artificial language, so that's got the basis of, if you like, one of the first textbooks. And then an Adam Kisby, K-I-S-B-Y, wrote a book in 2011 called The Revolutionary Kind of Science. So those are the two first foundation books of the University of Venderbetter. Vendergood is the name of the book, the Book of Vendergood. Venderbetter was the quip that Adam made with regards to Sidis's work with regards to being an artificial language. It could be better, Venderbetter. So that's what this university is about, with the technology. And we're just going to focus on the thorium and perhaps cold fusion energy, but definitely we've got fission energy from thorium in a molten fluoride salt reactor. So anyway, that's what the university is about. It's a quaternary. It's about bringing together the great minds, the polymaths, if you like, the technology, the people who are popularists, the people that speak into it, people that are making new ground. Jordan Peterson, I think, is a person who's creating a bit of a polemic out there at the moment with the university. Well, he's a professor in clinical psychology from a Canadian university. So anyway, all of those different things are available to us, and all you have to do is subscribe, and just go over to the link in the Facebook page, Venderbetter University. It's open, and there's an email place to just connect with emails, and then we'll just gradually grow from there. The Patreon thing is what I'll be working on this week, just to put the Patreon thing together, and that way I have to do it as well as everybody else, and then we'll just start from there with regards to the development of this university, which is exciting. Okay, that's all from me.